Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Winter Springs, Florida. It is so great to be with you all, and we have so much to talk about in northern Baja California and southern California. I mean, there's some huge swordfish being taken down at the Bisbees. We've got the winner of the Bisbees tournament, and it was a big black marlin. Of course, we're tracking that yellowfin tuna down below San Diego. Is it moving farther south? Seems to be doing that. And what about our old reliable friend, the bluefin tuna? Are they still biting? Plenty of big rockfish on the El Patron the other day. We'll delve into that. Some great lobster stuff going on and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Wow. What a beautiful morning it is here in Florida. I mean, it is gorgeous. I'm sure some of you are running for your sunglasses right now, as I have been unable to locate my Friedman Adventures hat this morning. I don't know if my grandson, he's about 4 months now. Has he reached the age where he's able to start screwing with Grandpa? One can only hope, but where my hat is, I'm not sure. So sunglasses because of the glare off of my bald head. Hey, it is great to be with you. If you don't mind, hit that like button right now. That is so important to each and every one of us. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and click that little bell. Wow, does this sun feel good? Click that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can also follow us over there on Facebook. And incidentally, the uploads here from Florida, I don't know what the problem is on YouTube, but sometimes this does not go up until night. Over there on Facebook, however, it's been going up immediately. So if you follow Phil Friedman, Friedman Adventures, you'll be able to get these reports a little bit earlier. I'll be back in Surfside on Friday, so that shouldn't be a problem. You can also follow us over there on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So much going on. I just mentioned the El Patron. We're going to get into that in a moment. But if you want to go to Catalina Island out of Long Beach, California, the El Patron is your ride. She is such a comfortable ride. Great galley, great crew. The captain worked so hard on this last trip. I'm going to be telling you about that because we had a dear friend, Friedman Ramirez, who was on that trip and raved about it. The El Patron awaits you out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. And if you happen to be headed to Ventura, California, up there near where my dad was born. He was born in Oxnard, played JC football at Ventura JC, so it's an area that's fond to my heart. If you're heading up there, Daniel Hadaway and the Island Spirit, nobody does it better. They are great on deck, really nice people, work hard, know what they're doing, catch you lots of big fish, and they are going on a regular basis. Ventura Sport Fishing. Get on the Island Spirit by giving them a call at 805-676-3474, or you can go to venturasportfishing.com. Let's start you out south of the border. We'll take you down to what we call Land's End. It's the end of the Baja Peninsula, approximately 1,000 miles from Tijuana, a little bit less than that, a little bit more than that, something like that. And they just had the Bisbees tournament for billfish, and it was a good one. Team Los Compadres won it with a 467-pound black marlin, and got a check for about 600 grand, a little bit better than that. So pretty good payday for the boys from Los Compadres. Left the tequila there, boys. Don't have too much. Calm down. Great win. And the Bisbees, always a really great time. So that is good to hear. Now, other areas in Baja that we are watching for you, Baja California, Mexico. We are watching Cedros Island, where Rosie Flowers is reporting outstanding yellowtail action, some nice calico bass fishing. It's been an incredible year. Another great one for Cedros Sport Fishing, and they continue to catch some really nice yellowtail. And now we want to track off of San Quintin. San Quintin is located 140 miles below the border. So from Tijuana, if you were to drive to San Quintin, it's about 140 miles. And down there, there's been some spectacular yellowfin tuna fishing. Now, of course, guys like Can-Am Sport Fishing out of San Quintin are fishing that stuff. If you prefer to make that drive down to San Quintin and jump on a six-pack down there, that is one way to catch this superior grade yellowfin tuna, 30 to 80, some fish up around 100 pounds. It's as if The long-range yellowfin tuna that are down there on an area we call the Ridge, about 500 miles, have moved up and are inhabiting this area. They were closer to San Diego here recently, but they seem to be sliding south. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that because that, of course, has ramifications for the boats running out of San Diego. But down there out of San Quintin, pretty darn good fishing. You need to find those dolphin pods, and that's where those YFT have been hanging out. And they have shown a penchant toward only biting lighter line, like 25, 30 pound, with a smaller hook, like a number 4 circle hook, whether you're fishing down there out of San Quintin or up there out of San Diego. When you go to the bait, it seems like they want that lighter stuff. They will at times bite the heavy. So gauge it, be observant, watch it, and switch to the heavy as soon as you possibly can. It'll make all the difference in the world. The new Loan with 10 guys, a 3-day trip. Nice trip down there with 80 yellowfin tuna to 94 pounds. Good hit on the new Loan. We've seen some other guys here recently that are starting to sputter a little bit as that fish starts to move south, looking for warmer water and looking for a vacation perhaps here in the late fall. So once again, good yellowfin tuna fishing, but apparently it looks like it is sliding south right now. And as it does that, it'll finally move out of range of the San Diego-based boys. It's been a nice shot. It's been excellent fishing, but you have to be on, man, I'd say at least a 2-day trip, and probably better than that, like the new Loan on that 3-day trip. They had a much better shot at it. So YFT going on. Hey, I need to talk long range with you since I just referenced the Ridge, and the boys that are down there have been doing great. The XL had some of the best yellowfin tuna fishing of the season so far here on the last couple of days, and that is saying something because the bite on long-range fishing has been spectacular for months now. It's been steady on yellowfin tuna, on yellowtail, on wahoo. It has been a year to remember for 8 to 10-day boats running out of San Diego, XL all over it. And our friend Soda Pop, Soda, how are you doing, my friend? I think I'll be seeing you in November on that 8-day trip. I certainly hope so. They had some really good wahoo fishing yesterday morning, and then as they got into the afternoon, they started to catch the wahoo, but kind of slowed down a little bit. They started catching big yellowfin tuna, you know, that 40 to 80 pound stuff, as well as some pretty good yellowtail fishing. It's been fantastic fishing, and I should mention that these long-range guys on their way home have been pulling into the Baja coast, where on the last Independence pull into the Baja coast, for lack of a better description, they had white sea bass, yellowtail, calico bass, sand bass, barracuda, all kinds of stuff that you might associate with a springtime bite up here in Southern California. Fun stuff, great fishing, long-range fishing has been sizzling, and it is continuing that way. No doubt about it. Time to go offshore and look at the bluefin tuna bite. We're talking Tanner Bank, Cortez Bank, Cherry Bank. From San Diego to go to the Cherry Bank, 120 miles. From San Pedro, about 80 miles, to give you a little bit of the geography and how long it takes you to get out there. But all those areas that I mentioned are accessible from San Diego up to Ventura, and it's still biting really, really well. It has some streaks of inconsistency where the fish will put their nose in the mud, a term we use when the fish just go off the bite. They put their nose in the mud and they quit biting. You'll see that from time to time. But overall, it's good plunker bite fishing on mostly 30 to 50 pound bluefin tuna, some smaller, some bigger, but most of it is in that size range. And same thing, lighter line, 25 pound will get you a bite, fluorocarbon. You want to go with a number 4 circle hook. And as always, a really good hot bait. We've seen good trips on the Amigo, on the Freedom, San Diego-based boats. The Tribute here recently had some great fishing on the bluefin tuna. Several other boys have been all over it. So that bite is as steady as you could possibly want it. And what a blessing these bluefin have been. I know crew members in San Diego want to pull their hair out sometimes after a long season because of the sleep deprivation aspect to the bluefin tuna fishing. They bite at night, so these boys are not getting their night's sleep anymore. They're up working hard. Remember those guys when it comes to tip time. Where did I go? My camera shut off due to the hot Florida sun. So I'm well rehearsed in the rest of the morning briefing, no question about it. So that bluefin tuna bite has been outstanding, no question about it. It has been rocking and rolling, and hopefully it is going to continue. We are loving what we're seeing. So great stuff south of the border, and our bluefin tuna bite offshore continues to head in the right direction. Let's talk a little bit about the islands. We've got to go to the Coronado Islands, where the bite has been really steady, 20 to 40 yellows per boat per day out there at the Coronado Islands. Nice fall bite. It's been a spectacular season at the islands. Then it dipped and it looked like it was over, and here it comes back again. Not the same intensity as it once was, where we're catching 100 yellows per boat per day, and it was steady on that. But now 20 to 40, we'll take it here in the fall. A lot of yo-yo ironfish, so a small heavy jig that you sink deep, wind on fast, set the hook by turning the handle on the reel, never by rearing back on the rod. Fishing 40-pound at least. I like 60-pound, and also dropper loop fish, so an 8-ounce, 6-ounce torpedo sinker, a good hot bait. Most of the time you get away with some heavier string, like some 40-pound fluorocarbon, and a bigger hook, like a 3-0, sometimes even bigger than that. Pretty good bite down there, and there's some other stuff to go along with it. If the boys want to rock fish you out, they can do that, catch a few calico bass. Pretty darn good bite there at San Clemente Island. Good rockfish, and also a little bit of calico bass still out there, but everybody's offshore for the most part fishing the bluefin tuna because it's not all that much farther away. And then Catalina Island, Furman Ramirez, a dear Friedman Adventures family member. Furman, thanks for sharing. He was on board the El Patron. He said, Phil, we were catching these giant bocaccio. I won the jackpot, said Furman. He was so excited. Had a 24-inch ling. He said the captain on the El Patron worked his fingers to the bone to make sure we caught lots of big rockfish. He said he had a great time. El Patron out of Long Beach sport fishing, doing their thing. Catalina Island, deep water caught, and they are big. Man, you'll catch some really nice, beautiful fish, kind of like what you catch out on Tanner and Cortez, because these areas have not been hit for many, many years, and they're producing some outstanding fishing right now. Up there in the Channel Islands, how can we not talk about Tucker McCombs in the Endeavor? A nice hit on the white sea bass, 28, I think it was. I'll check that number for you, but a great trip. I think Philip Wynn was the charter master on that trip. Tocayo, my Latin American and Mexican friends know what I'm talking about. Same first name. Philip, way to go. Nice hit. Tucker on his game as usual. We might see more of that. The more squid that moves in, that is perfect setup for predation from all kinds of different species. White sea bass, halibut, yellowtail, and other species also. We're going to see more of that, I think. Gorgeous weather in the Channel Islands. Plenty of rockfish on the Island Spirit again here recently. Kids fish free this Sunday, but they're fishing that deep water up there out of the Channel Islands, and they're putting the hurt on the rockfish right now. No matter where you're coming to us from in this big, beautiful world, and we have viewers from Costa Rica, from Mexico, from Taiwan, from Europe, from all over the world. When you come to the Channel Islands, check out Ventura Sport Fishing. Get on the Island Spirit. I know you're going to love your time there. So really good stuff. And further up, Santa Barbara, great rock fishing. Up there, Avila Beach, Morro Bay, great rock fishing. Up there, San Francisco, big lings, and still some bluefin tuna opportunities offshore when the weather permits up there in that area. So some really great stuff going on right now. Hey, we need to talk about the lobster situation. The lobster bite, I don't know what you call it. Lobster hoop netting is what we're going to call it. And a great trip for our friend Mark Manguiers, who was out on board the Gale Force out of L.A. Harbor. Mark said the guys on the Gale Force, who I got to meet at the Orange County Fair, they're great guys. Really worked their fingers to the bone. They did a great job. Now, these trips on the Gale Force leave at 12 noon. They take you out and you rockfish, and they limit it out on big, beautiful rockfish. Mark said it was fantastic. Then, as the sun is setting, you set your hoop nets, and at Catalina Island, it can just be prolific. You can be done like that on the lobster. And Mark said he had a limit of rockfish, a limit of lobster, won the jackpot on this trip, had a great time. Now, on the Highliner, they were lobster fishing. David Choate, many of you know David, he's a friend of mine, and Matt Schlurf. Matt and I go back way too many years. And Matt said he yanked up his hoop net, and lo and behold, besides the spiny local lobster, there was a Maine lobster. Can you guys imagine how difficult it was for that Maine lobster to travel from the east coast of the United States all the way over to the Rocky Point area off Redondo Beach, California, and then Matt have the good fortune to catch that thing? Or maybe it was Ralph's Supermarket in Redondo Beach. Some guy goes, hey, let's release a couple of these. That'd be kind of funny, a more likely explanation. In either case, a really nice catch for Matt. Matt, way to go. Thanks for sharing that great catch. Maine lobster out of Redondo Beach on board the Highliner. That is some really great stuff. All right, 1/2 and 3/4 day boats up and down the coast are catching rockfish right now from San Diego all the way up to Ventura and above. It's good rock fishing, fishing the deep water now, as we've been mentioning to you, 300 feet of water or better. And big fish bait and tackle, if you need your surf fishing gear or your big game marlin gear or your bluefin gear or your trout gear, you can get it all at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. But they are Southern California's surf fishing headquarters. They've got all the baits you'll need for a successful outing in the surf. Down there around Huntington Beach, Richard Keogh with some great fishing on the barred perch. Water gets cooler. We're going to see more and more barred perch for sure. You can make some sand crabs, that is, catch some sand crabs around the Huntington Beach Pier and turn those in to some of those barred perch. Now, if you go down to Anderson and PCH, Anderson Street and PCH, there's a big tower down there, and walk out there and make an extremely long cast with one of those sand crabs. You can also come up with some nice spot fin croaker right now. Occasional corvina, but a lot more barred perch as the water cools down. They're off Surfside. Some halibut down there around Seal Beach and Long Beach for guys like John Garma who are throwing lucky crab lures. And then up there in the Santa Monica Bay, we continue to see occasional halibut, a little bit of yellowfin croaker, a few corvina, and more barred perch biting up there in that neck of the woods. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you. What a report. I mean, giant fish everywhere. Oh, hey, one more thing. How about a 667-pound swordfish for a couple of guys, Dave and Luke? Big, giant swordfish, a local fish it looks like. Perhaps a new record. Don't have any of the info on it. Dave, Luke, come on. Give me a call. Let me know what's going on with this. So a 667-pound swordfish caught out of San Diego. It looks like, whoa, that is one heck of a tail for sure. All right, there you have it, my friends, from Winter Springs, Florida, where it's been great here with my grandson, Finn, and my son, Patrick, his lovely wife, Kaylin, and her wonderful family. I've had the time of my life. It's almost time for me to head back to SoCal. I've got a long-range trip to jump on here in November on board the Independence. Can't wait to do that 8-day trip with so many of you. We got a 2-day trip on board the Apollo out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. And we have a 5-day trip on the Independence in April of 25 that you can still get on while there's still a chance. Give the Independence office a call today. Say hi to Paulina for me and jump on that great trip. Have a great one. Stay in touch with all the very latest. Hit that like button. Don't forget to purchase some Friedman Adventures merchandise today. It really helps the cause. And thank you so much for everything you do to make Friedman Adventures numero uno. Have a great one, and I hope to see you really, really soon.